Well, the unfortunate incident of the death of the governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, has paved the way for his former deputy, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, to become the new governor. And upon resumption on his first day in office as governor, Mr. Aiyedatiwa went to the residence of the former governor of the state in Ibadan, where he paid a condolence visit to the family. Governor Aiyedatiwa describes the late Akeredolu as a courageous leader who stood and never took the interest of his people for granted. Oludare Oyewole has more.
As the family of the late Rotimi Akeredolu continues to grapple with the loss, condolences have continued to pour in from diverse corners from across the nation. Family members still recovering from the tragic news have reconvened at Akeredolu's residence in Ibadan, as notable figures from various parts of the country continue to visit, offering their sympathies during this challenging time. Among the initial prominent figures to extend their condolences was Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak of Kwara State, who is the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, and accompanied by his vice, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. They described his death as a huge loss to the political landscape of Nigeria.
It's indeed a great loss for the nation. This is a man that had risen to the heights of his chosen career at the bar. He was a senior advocate of Nigeria. He's risen to the heights of politics.
We've been in the trenches together. When we were going to set up our Amatekun, he was pivotal to it. And when we took the decision for Southern Presidency, himself and the former governor of Anambra, they chaired the meeting.
The latest is the visit of the sitting governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa. As part of his first assignment, he described his predecessor as an exemplary leader who always stood for what was right.
He has always been our leader, a courageous one for that matter, one who has governed Ondo State in the last 6.5 to 7 years with great courage and with so many legacies that he has left behind. He's an exemplary leader, a courageous one, a leader that believes in fairness, equity, and justice.
As the family of the late governor continues to mourn their own, it is hoped that the overwhelming condolences would provide enough solace for the family to move forward, despite the pain left by the death of their beloved. Oludare Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
And joining us now to talk about this development is APC's Southwest Chairman, Isaac Kekimeke. We also have joining us via Zoom from Texas, the United States of America, convener, Social Rehabilitation, Grace and Support Initiative, Dr. Oludare Marindoti. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us at this time. Compliments of the season, of course, to you. Let's begin with Mr. Kekimeke. Thank you very much for joining us at this time. And ever since the sad passing of the former governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, it's been torrent after torrent of, people talking about his legacies, how that his legacies will never be forgotten in a hurry. From where you stand, a key stakeholder in your capacity as, the Southwest, head of the party, so to speak, of the APC, how do you resonate with this, talk about the late Rotimi Akeredolu's legacy in the state?
In our compliments. I am in shock. Citizens of Ondo are in shock. And many are in shock in Nigeria over the demise of Governor. We had all hoped and prayed that he will recover, return, continue his good work, and complete his mandate. But that is our wish. He's gone home to rest. We bless God for giving in to us And we thank God and the grace with which He has done all that He had to our state, to Southwest, to Nigeria at large. He did his best. You may like him, you may not like him. But everyone agrees that here was a fighter. He was a man of strong beliefs. He was a man who stood for justice. He was a man who spoke his mind once he was convinced that it was the right thing to do. He's a man who believes in true federalism as a champion.
Mr. Kekemeke, apologies, please. Let us put you on hold. We'll come back to you. Let's get to Dr. Marindoti to quickly, get a quick take from him following the passing of Rotimi Akeredolu.
Thanks, Kemi. My father, Mr. Kekemeke, has said, Governor Akeredolu is someone who is a just man who believed in justice, who fought for his people, who defended his people, who dedicated his life to the people of Ondo State and Nigeria in general. And, the people are sad. It's a somber time, for the states, for the country in general, because, it is a loss that is irreplaceable. It's an irreparable damage to the fabric of our democracy, the loss of the giant Governor Akeredolu. But the country, the states will have to move on. We definitely have to be thankful to God for the opportunity to have even had Governor Akeredolu lead us for 6+ years. It's a privilege to us, and we have to be happy about that. Even though we are sad to see him go, but we have to be thankful for the the impact that he has had. And this is not even like people might not like him or whatever. Nobody can deny that he is a good man. He is an honest man. He is a funny man. Even like I even saw one of the videos, during the burial of his mom, where he made the president laugh with the comments about EFCC and all of that. Those are like good things and good memories that we have about Governor Akeredolu. We really love him. We miss him. We wish him all the best. We pray that, he is with the angels and he found peace at last. And we are thankful to God for him, and we pray for him.
Now, I'd like to stay with you. Talking about Dr. Marindoti, talking about the passing of Akeredolu, so many political intrigues happened before he died. What are you looking forward to seeing going forward? Although there was seeming semblance of peace in Ondo State when the president intervened in the matter, but then what do you expect to see, or what are you looking to see in the coming days as Ondo State gets the 7th governor being sworn in?
Yeah, so for me, from what I've been observing, like the acting governor, now governor of Ondo State, Lucky Orimisan Aiyedatiwa, he has been sworn in. He has started right. He's playing the role of the monarch-in-chief of the state. He has declared the state of mourning. He's gone to pay condolence visits to the family, which is, as due. This is the time to, celebrate the life of a patriot and mourn his passing. And so, he's doing what is due. But, he also has to grapple with both politics and governance, because that is the truth. He has a budget that he passed that he submitted about 8 days ago. Today is like the 29th, so we have 2 more days. That needs to be signed. So that is one thing that he has to contend with. Then he also has to, select his deputy, which, that's a job that he would have to do, and also restructure his cabinet. But I'll have a maybe funny take about the resignation of a lot of people, a lot of members of his cabinet. To me, I feel like he should not. If it's possible, I would decline their resignation and let them be there, because, like you mentioned, there was a lot of political intrigue and a lot of allegations before the passing of, the governor. And I believe it's best for the people who were players to be at their position. when these questions are being asked, so that they can, have all the, wherewithal to present the appropriate answers, because questions still have to be asked. And while doing that, there's also the issue of the election, next year, which, it should not, I believe the governor should not assume that just because he has risen to the position of the governor, based following the passing of his, principle, that means that the, opposition will disappear. People's ambition is not just going to fade into thin air. So he still has that to contend with, and the primary is in 4 months. So he has definitely a lot on his plate. I wish him well. I hope he can juggle everything, because the legacy of Governor Akeredolu cannot be jeopardized. It must be continued, and he also had his ambition, which is, I think, is yet to officially declare, will also have to be nurtured by him. And so definitely the political juggling is still going on, and I can only wish him all the best. He deserves the support of everybody. Governor Akeredolu's legacy and mandate has to be carried on. He is the person that the torch has been passed through, and he needs to make his boss proud. And I think he has started on the right path so far.
All right, Dr. Dare, let's put you on hold now and get back to Ondo State now for more takes from the APC's Southwest Chairman, Isaac Kekemeke, and we apologize once again for the interruption earlier. So now that
it's okay.
Aiyedatiwa has, been sworn in, Lucky Aiyedatiwa has been sworn in as governor of the state, there were a lot of intrigues, there were a lot of upheavals in Ondo State. At the point when he was even sworn in as acting governor weeks ago, he was saying that all the back and forth, in the midst of the illness of his predecessor were indeed needless. And now that, the unfortunate news has been broken of the senior advocate of Nigeria's passing, and now the way forward is before us. What are your expectations, especially now that his successor has said he will continue with the unfinished projects of his predecessor?
Well, first, the reality is Lucky Aiyedatiwa is governor, so I seize this opportunity to congratulate him on his inauguration as the 7th elected governor of Ondo State. Second, I think I'm in a good position to make this point. And this point is that, yes, we have a united party in Ondo State, but it is not without fractures. There are fractures in the party. There are tendencies in the party. The party stood united because all of us decided that because Governor Akeredolu is our leader, we were going to follow him and ensure that the party remains stable. Governor Aiyedatiwa has all of these fractures to tend. He has all of these fractions to heal. There are quite a number of people who feel excluded in the day-to-day running of a party. But because we believe in Governor Akeredolu as our leader, we deferred to him, and everyone appeared to have buried at the hatchet. Good enough, President Bola Tinubu himself, a Southwesterner, and a political juggernaut, has laid the foundation for peace and harmony in the state. I think that Governor Aiyedatiwa should build on that foundation that the president has laid by ensuring that all tendencies within the party are put together. Our party is also in an election mood next year. I think Governor Aiyedatiwa now, as a leader and father of all, has a duty to see everyone as a compatriot and partner, not minding the fact that he himself is interested in running. That's a big task for him. This is sad, but it is high time we stopped talking about groups and factions within our party. We need to do that quickly and ensure that those who promote division and sections within the party are reined in now and not tomorrow. Because if that is not done, there are elements who are believing that it is their turn. There are elements who are believing that they want to get back at people who had hitherto excluded them. There are elements who believe that they are in fact responsible for the success of Governor Aiyedatiwa's inauguration. I think he should just shun them, and I think he should be a statesman. I know him personally. I think he has the capacity, but he has to be really, really sober with power. That's my cancer.
I would still like to stay with you, Mr. Kekemeke. The fact that you said that you know him, you trust that he will be able to deliver. Before he became the governor, so many political issues which he already alluded to. But then we also heard that he had been positioning himself, to becoming, to run for governor next election. Would this be, because the transition period as well, would this be a sort of automatic ticket for him to, to run for governor come 2024?
Well, what I have told people is that before now, the infighting was between the Aiyedatiwa Aketi team itself. There are also other factors outside that interest and that group who he needs to cut. I also know that our party grants no automatic tickets to individuals. He has to earn it. And I know that quite a number of people are interested. At the last count, many people have shown interest. I'm consulting myself to consider the possibility of running. I ran against their ticket 4 years ago. So, but all of this depends on how he acts as governor. All of it depends on the leadership of a party nationally. All of it depends on what the citizens of the states will do or say. But the important point now is that he is governor, and he has to act like one by putting all of us together. And I pledge, and I know all of us pledge our loyalty to his government for him to succeed. There's still so much to deliver. There's so many unfinished projects for their ticket. So he has to pursue all of those things. He has to put people together. And let me say that...
right, I was getting to that.
To the best of...
issue about unfinished projects, especially in the light of, a number of commissioners resigning, aides of the former governor resigning. What your take will be on his stance that he will complete the unfinished projects of his predecessor, as in how easy will that be? Your co-analyst at this time, that's Dr. Marindoti, has said he would rather that they stay on, that these commissioners and aides stay on. But in reality, how do you think that will be? How easy will that be if they had?
That cannot be easy. As governor, he may have to work with confidence, people that he personally knows for particular some specific offices or in some specific areas. Yes, they had a joint ticket, Akeredolu Aiyedatiwa ticket, but you will know that from experience, most of those choices were made by the governor to help him achieve his goal. And now that Aiyedatiwa is governor, we must grant him the right to pick people with whom he can work comfortably and deliver. But he also has a duty to assure so many other people who fear that they might be relieved of their offices because they took positions against him or because they were loyal to his erstwhile boss. And when things didn't go well, smooth well enough, they took positions that may not be friendly to him. I think he has to assure those people, and as many of those people that he can work with, he must find a way to work with them. In politics, there are no permanent friends or permanent adversaries, always permanent interests. And I know that a lot of people, if he accommodates them, will be willing to work with him. I think he must work to prevent mass resignations. But I also think that he must rejig the system to make him effective and functional.
You know, looking at against the backdrop of what Chief Kekemeke said about permanent interest in politics and not, permanent enemy, we know that it was apparent, that the disagreement between him and the State House of Assembly, who were trying to, get him out of the way so that, somebody else will appear, somebody else will come up acting. Do you feel that it will still be up against the State Assembly? And do you feel it might also be vindictive? Because those who hated him will now pretend that they love him. That's the reality. So do you feel that it might be vindictive towards them?
I think he shouldn't. I commend to him Psalm 62 verse 11. Once has God spoken, twice have I heard. All power belongs to God. I think that those people in the assembly were elected like he was elected as deputy governor and now deemed elected as governor. He should work with them. It's an independent arm of government. He should work with them. They should work together. I think he should try hard to know that it's God's grace and that he should never take a pound of flesh. Never do. At that time, the circumstances are different. Governor Akeredolu was ill. There was a struggle for who was going to be in charge. He naturally ought to be in charge, but there was no love lost between the faction that claimed they were very loyal to the late governor and those who supported him. So there was this scramble for power. It's natural, and I think you should just see it as such. Now that he's won, and you should try as much as possible to work with members of the House of Assembly, particularly against the backdrop of the foundation for peace that the president laid when the president insisted that the impeachment processes be discontinued and that he tries as much as possible not to tinker with structures already established. Again, things have changed a bit because at that time there was a Governor Akeredolu. Now, sadly, there is no Governor Akeredolu. So things can never be, they won't be as...
The point is made.
Okay.
Your point is made, rather. Dr. Marindoti, the question was initially for you. Would you like to quickly go at it?
Yes, and I'm thankful for the take that my father Kekemeke just gave. It is true that the deputy governor should try to work with the cabinet members. Sorry, I'm getting used to it. Yeah, the governor should try to work with the cabinet members because nobody wants to come into a room and everybody leaves, right? So definitely it is expedient to him to try to stretch hands across the board. And like I said, I would even reject some people's resignation letters like, you have to be there, I want you. But there is a problem, a caveat as regards the National Assembly right now, and that is the fact that there's a primary in April, which is just 4 months. So it's not a lot of time to mend, build bridges and mend, torn fabrics while still trying to contest against one another. That is the, dilemma that the governor right now would have to, deal with. It is definitely going to be difficult, but I feel like he should try to, pull people together, try to govern while, still nursing ambitions, because a lot of people have ambitions in the state, and nobody will want the governor to seem vindictive or to seem to be, using his power to muzzle the process. So definitely I agree with what Mr. Kekemeke said regarding that, but I feel like it's going to be difficult to achieve just because of the realities on ground. We have the election in 4 months. There's no time to do every single thing. So, but I wish him all the best. Like, that's what we can wish him. They have a mandate. They must deliver for the people. The people are the most important in this dynamic. So definitely, I wish him all the best in achieving these, lofty goals. But I think it will be difficult.
Well, Dr. Dare, the next big task before him now is choosing his deputy governor. And it is a big task. It will be, many have said, it's going to be quite challenging. Okay, he represents a particular senatorial district. His predecessor represented another senatorial district, leaving another or the third and the last senatorial district on field. And people are saying that may just be where the deputy governor will come from. But away from this dynamics, what are your thoughts as to who Lucky Aiyedatiwa's deputy governor will be or should be?
Well, it is his own prerogative to choose who he can really personally work with. Maybe because I'm a different generation, I really am not so hard and fast about the whole zoning thing because, I mean, why should I pick someone from a different zone if I can't work with them? The most important thing is the service delivery to the people. But we understand the reality of Nigeria. Zoning is the thing. We have the federal character and all of that. So I believe he might want to pick someone from the central because also he might also be looking at who is going to pick that he might be able to run with should he get the ticket of the party. So that might be a part of his calculation. I don't expect it to be an easy choice for him. Like I don't envy the governor right now because he has too much on his plate. He has a lot to do. I hope he has been planning because that's what is going to help him. But I'm thinking he might want to pick someone from the central senatorial district as opposed to go into the north just because he's putting zoning into consideration. That's what I think he might want to do. Because in view of his own ticket, should he get the ticket of the party to run for office? That's my take on it.
Well, let's get the take of the politician. I understand your position, Dr. Dare. Let's hear from Isaac Kekemeke. Isaac Kekemeke, what the odds are now that the slot of deputy governor needs to be filled. Explain to us the position of the party.
Well, I like the idealistic position of my co-contestant, co-conversant, Dr. Dare. Ideally, nobody should bother about which zone an individual comes from. It's all about service and competence and capacity. But the reality of Nigerian politics and the constitution of a country makes it imperative that there is balance. So, in my view, the Southern Senatorial District from which the present governor comes is disqualified from being, anyone from that district is disqualified from being picked for the office of deputy governor. So he has the Central Senatorial District and the Northern Senatorial District to pick from. Of course, there are quite a number of suggestions and propositions. Some think that because the governor came from the north and that he came from the south, now that he's governor, the north ought to be compensated so that they can complete that tenure together. It's a north-south ticket. Others think that it does not matter and that it could also pick from the central. The party is here to sit down to decide where. We are hoping that the governor consults the party. Basically, it is his personal discretion to choose who to work with as governor, our deputy governor, and present same to the House of Assembly for confirmation. We hope we are in discussions. We have a party advisory council. We have a party working committee in the state. I know that the present governor will consult with the national leadership of the party, and with inputs from them, he will make the decision. But likely the decision is his, and I pray that God will help him.
Because we are racing against time and it looks like the time is really fast spent. What will be your final take on this? Still talking about his choice. Should the party's choice take preeminence over the governor's choice? Looking at what former Governor Akeredolu himself said about his deputy at the time, said that he must come down for him to grow. And then he also played on his name, Lucky Aiyedatiwa Orimesan. So what exactly would you like to say regarding this, in your final take, Dr. Marindoti?
Alluded to, he got here by, providence. God has a plan for it, but I feel like it is his primary, whatever the choice he's going to have to make is going to be his primary decision, his sole decision. He might, if he's doing it in view of just completing this term, yes, he might want to compensate the Northern Senatorial District. If he's looking at it in view of someone he will work with now and possibly run with should he get the primary ticket, he might want to be a little bit more adventurous regarding that choice. But I wish him all the best. I can only pray for him just for the sake of the Ondo State people and for the progress and peace in our state.
All right, gentlemen, we say a big thank you first to the convener of the Social Rehabilitation, Grace and Support Initiative, Dr. Marindoti, who joined in from Texas, the United States, and the APC Southwest Chairman, Isaac Kekemeke. Thank you very much for speaking with us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you so much. It's such a